PVC is one of the most popular materials for DIY hydroponic setups since it's cheap, easy to work with, and easy to find. I have two hydroponic rail systems in my home, and some of the PVC materials I use to build them are not labeled as food grade. That's not surprising since they're building materials, but I did quite a bit of online research to find out if there was any potential issue with that. I found a lot of conflicting information and unsupported claims on all sides, and it was a lot to sort through, but I found several very helpful studies and data sheets, and based on what I learned, I was not concerned. However, since I started creating tutorials for building this same system, I wanted to be thorough and get a lab test of my nutrient solution to check for potential issues and warn you if I found anything. I went online and found a company called Simple Lab that was reputable and had mail-in lab testing available. They have several tests designed to look for contaminants in residential water supplies, so I purchased the Advanced Well Water Test to check for heavy metals or other chemicals, and the SVOC water test to check for phthalates, which I'll explain in a minute. To take the water samples, I waited until 2 weeks after my last nutrient change for my system. So that's right before I would have done another nutrient change. And that was in order to allow any potential contaminants to accumulate to their maximum levels. So this was right before changing the water when things presumably would have gotten cleaner if there was any contaminants. I took the samples directly from the outflow tube in my hydroponic rail system, so it would provide a snapshot of the water my plants are in contact with. I then packaged up the samples and mailed them to the lab. A few weeks later, I received my results, so let me show you what it looks like. And before I do, as a disclaimer, these results are specific to my situation, and so I can't guarantee that your results would be the same. First, for the SVOC test. This test looks for phthalates, which are sometimes used in plastics to make them flexible or to improve other material characteristics. The effects of phthalates on humans are still not well understood, but some people are concerned they can cause health issues, especially in high amounts. Based on my research, I didn't find much evidence that phthalates leach out of plastic at room temperature, which is what I have my hydroponic system at, so I didn't expect an issue. The SVOC test looked for 67 different compounds, and not a single one was detected at a measurable level. So here you can see the full results with all the items that were tested for. There's quite a few. Some of these I don't even recognize, but I wanted to highlight two of them for you that came up quite a bit in my research. So this one is DHP. It's a phthalate. And this one was not detected. And here we have DBP, which was also tested and not detected. Both of these came up quite a bit as phthalates that some people were concerned could come from PVC, but both of them were not detected in the sample that was taken. So then to the Advanced Well Water Test. Some are concerned that PVC can contain elements such as lead or cadmium and that these can leach into the water. According to what I had found, most or all PVC manufacturers have avoided using lead for many years. Also, many plants are sensitive to lead or cadmium, so I figured if there was a problem with those contaminants leaching, then the plants would tell us. Another concern I've read about is vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride has been correlated with liver cancer, and it's a building block of PVC made from salt and ethylene, and it's converted into stable PVC during the manufacturing process. Some are concerned that it can still be present in PVC products, though that is debated. However, vinyl chloride is a gas at room temperature and evaporates out of water rapidly, so I didn't see it as an issue for hydroponics. So here are the results from the Advanced Well Water Test, and these are kind of ordered based on concern level of what they would expect for a normal well. So right away you see that there's some bacteria. That's expected because we're growing plants. There's not E. coli, which is further down the list, so that's good. A lot of these things right here are just from nutrients. So these are things that were added to the water for the plants. So they're not of any concern, though they would be if this was drinking water. So that's why they all show up high here. The first one that kind of has a little bit of concern that I looked into further was arsenic. So the arsenic is showing up because it's above 1 part per billion. So it's 1.1 part per billion. And I looked it up. The EPA maximum contaminant level, you can actually see it here if you can see that, is 10 parts per billion. So this is still 1/10 of the maximum for drinking water. And I haven't seen any concern from the research I've done that PVC leaches arsenic, even from the biggest PVC skeptics. So I highly doubt that this arsenic has anything to do with PVC. I then looked at some of the previous municipal water test results for my city, and in the past they've had test results near 1 part per billion for arsenic. So this could easily just be from the water that I originally put in the system from my city water supply. So I'm not concerned about the arsenic level being in the orange there. Beyond the arsenic, there wasn't anything else of concern that was detected. These two, again, come from the nutrients. These aren't even at concerning levels, but some of them do come from the nutrients anyways. So the ones we talked about, one of the possible additives for PVC is barium, and so it did find a little bit, but it's much. We got 0.0015 parts per million of barium, and the maximum contaminant level is 2, so a lot lower than the maximum, and that could also be in the nutrients. Then when we go down here, there was no chloride detected. There was no E. coli detected. There was no lead detected. And there was no vinyl chloride detected. So overall, the results were really good. I didn't see any evidence of PVC leachates or anything that would be harmful coming out of the PVC. So in summary, after testing my water, I have absolutely no concerns about harmful chemicals leaching from the materials I used to build my hydroponic setup. I wrote an article outlining more in detail the potential concerns associated with PVC and the research that I have found on each one. And I actually have links to the studies that I found to be helpful. So if you want to see more about that or read more about that, check the video description for a link. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. Also, if you want to build a hydroponic system similar to this, please check out our online course and our website. We've got tutorials for how to build this exact system. Thanks for watching.